Okay, so we're going to look at a series of submissions and transitions between them from the guard, but the key here is going to be the leg work and exerting pressure with the legs. So I got Scott, my guard. And what happens is, he just starts from here to facilitate the drill. I put my foot on his hip, and immediately this leg is coming up and I'm squeezing this way, and here's what people often miss, this way as well, in from the back with my calf coming down, all right, pushing my heel down. So I'm enclosing him, I'm squeezing on him from all sides to trap him. It limits his movement. I have to limit the movement of his arms and his shoulders, in particular, that he can't pull his shoulders back. There's nothing right now keeping his head down, but that's okay. There's very little keeping his head down. So I go from here to foot on the hip, and this is pressure in here, squeezing. This one's pushing him this way. I'm crushing him down to his right. All right, his arm isn't supporting him. And then, while I'm still squeezing, this leg clears his head, but you notice how it pushes his arm over too. I'm not using my hands, just training the legs to do their job well. And I'm squeezing with my legs as I'm pressing down with my heels. And that will be my arm lock position. Then I loosen up a little bit, he pulls out. Immediately, I'm going to either put my foot on his hip or just use my leg against his ribs to let his head back in. And I'm gonna, with this leg, I'm gonna push him over. His head crosses over center because my leg pushes it over. And then I close my triangle, and the narrow space here gives his arm nowhere to go but across. All right? Now, alternatively, when I let his arm in, his head in that is, I could also go foot to the hip. But here it's crucial to also, as you're pushing, you're closing in on him here. Your knees are squeezing together as you bring him across. You can't leave this loose because he'll pull his arm out, or he'll leave it across here like this and start to protect it. And then when I close it, I'm fighting for a triangle, probably have to follow up to an omoplata. So when I make this transition and I let his head back in, I'm pushing his head over and squeezing, and then I set my triangle in and I've got him here. Now I can also keep this close and then just clear his head, and I've got another follow-up arm lock. But off of the triangle, when I first did this, his arm didn't go across. Now, from here, I rotate and I immediately push down here this way. My heel pushes down toward the ground or toward my butt, and I close this angle here to where there's pressure on his shoulder and he can't pull his arm out. And I'm rotating out and sitting up, circling my feet to the side and behind me. And then again, the idea is to crimp on his arm with my legs and to always be squeezing around what I'm trying to enclose. It might be his whole upper body, but also could be his shoulder and just the arm in that case. And so you're aware of what you're trying to enclose and you're trapping it with your legs. When you train that, you'll feel a little bit of a burn in your adductors, for example, and your hamstrings and different places where you have, I would say, the smaller muscle groups of your legs. But you train them, they become stronger, but then when you actually are doing this and adding your arms in again to do their job, your legs are still doing their work. And that makes you much more effective because you're closing him off. You're squeezing on him, inhibiting his motion, and locking in a tighter finish.